For more on this story, joining us live from Singapore is James Dorsey. He's a senior fellow at Singapore's S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies. James, thanks so much for being with us. So, rather a confusing week to follow in terms of where progress has been at, in terms of what both sides are thinking, agreeing to with this ceasefire proposal on the table by the US. What is your appraisal of where things stand right now?
I think what we're seeing is a proposal that is not intended to resolve the differences. The differences are just simply too wide. What it attempts to do is to find ambiguous language in which both parties can recognize themselves. At the same time, to increase pressure on the parties, particularly on Hamas, by putting the proposal forward as submitted not only to Hamas by the Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, but also by President Trump himself. With other words, rejecting this proposal would amount to potentially an affront that Mr. Trump would perceive as an affront. Even if this proposal does get accepted, what you're going to get at best is a reprieve. Israel clearly has not given up its goal of destroying Hamas. Even worse, if you wish, Israeli Prime Minister last week added as a war goal the resettlement of Gaza's population elsewhere outside of the Strip.
And so, James, what I'm hearing there is these attempts at a ceasefire deal don't seem so much, at least from Israel's side, as an attempt to really end the war.
Israel has no intention of ending the war. It has been very clear about it. There's no way of misunderstanding what Prime Minister Netanyahu and other officials say. What Israel wants is essentially two things. It wants the hostages released, and it, of course, wants to be seen as favoring a ceasefire, even if it does not favor an end to the war.
And separate from what's going on with these ceasefire negotiations, we have seen more Western nations sharpen their criticisms of Israel. Do you see those words as leading to any tangible actions that will actually work to stop Israel's actions in Gaza?
Obviously, if Europe is serious and the Canadians are serious, because those are the parties that we're talking about, if they're serious, they are going to have to put their money where their mouth is. With other words, they would have to act on suspending at least parts of the trade agreement between Israel and the European Union. The $64,000 question is whether they will do that. The other question, of course, is whether European pressure, actual deeds rather than words, will be enough to persuade Israel, or whether it's really going to take Trump to intervene to force Israel's hand on the issues.
James Dorsey, Senior Fellow at Singapore's S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies. Thank you so much.